$50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. On to get us started now, the kicker, Chris Boswell. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now Hall to start the drive. And that to the 30. It'll be second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Here's Fields. He finds Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Fields. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Fields. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And this one is right through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Quentin Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Here's Rudolph. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 4. Fields. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Fields now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a 2nd opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Here's Rudolph. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think,
mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Man open downfield. It's Metcalf. Down to the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf. 73 yards. And the Steelers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
The drive will start with an option going left. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. From the gun, here's Fields. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And that is incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner, and that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that third down snap.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now it's Rudolph. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 28 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Fields. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Out of the gun, Fields. And Wilson with it, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And his kick here is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and yeah, I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He'll find Metcalf. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Johnson running right. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd down and 11. A give up the middle to Johnson. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Rudolph now to throw. Got his man. It's Warren. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a one-score game as the lead holds at 8.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields finds Lazard quickly on the slant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Give to Hall running right.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Looking to throw. Fields. Wilson's got it complete. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. He's got Wilson, and that's a Jets touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets have cut the lead back down to 2.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
This one finds Austin out right, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Rudolph looking to throw. Complete to Austin here over the middle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Rudolph. That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. And he will have a Steelers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And from the 41, this is 2nd and a yard. On the give, it's Warren. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option. And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this is going to remain a 1-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Fields. And Lazard's got it again. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Fields. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Allen Lazard from 8 yards out. And the Jets have regained the lead. Carlson on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And able to get this out to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Back to throw, Rudolph. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. Just a gain of a couple there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Back to throw, Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision, and boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle.
Fields.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Now it's Fields.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, here's Hall.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go.
Here's Rudolph.
Now a short pass pulled in by Washington.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Rudolph. And he finds Austin complete. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Now it's Rudolph.
Austin is there and brings in another one.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half.
And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Screen play, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Jermaine Johnson
Picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Now Rudolph.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end,
Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
3rd and 12. A handoff for Warren.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But there's almost no doubt about the play call there on third down and long. You figure they're going to throw the football. I've got to give a little credit to the offense for taking a little bit of a chance there, running the draw, hoping to catch them off guard, but the defense was ready.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And the Jets will take over.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they?
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. In motion goes the tight end. Rudolph following the fumble recovery. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Rudolph now to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll set up a throw.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Boswell's kick is good, and that's going to tie things at 20.
First turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Hall on a give up the middle.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Hall again on 2nd down. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
Here's a quick throw out to Wilson.
So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
To throw is Fields. This is Lazard with a catch out left. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Fields. That is caught.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. Taken in left side, it's Wilson.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
To the air again, Fields. Out right, he's got Ruckert.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Jeremy Ruckert.
A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are going to take the lead.
On that 3rd down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Carlson's extra point up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
Partner, we always talk about how important third down is, but I think first down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go faster, do other things, and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Second down and 3.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
The slot man in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Back to throw, Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Rudolph. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Jermaine Johnson
Able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
on is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And New York set to take the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football as they've got the lead here, and we get set to begin quarter number 4.
Fields.
Can't get away, and he's taken down. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The Jets on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
On the draw, it's Hall.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3-and-out.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Steeler offense set to regain possession.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Rudolph looking to throw. That is incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Play action. It's Rudolph.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken at the 15. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
New York set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Halted in his tracks by Keanu Benton.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Now it's Fields.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Miles Killebrew with a pick. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer.
Johnson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1.
Johnson again, and this time he is in. Touchdown, Steelers. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Boswell for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Now Fields.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
82 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Fields.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. They'll run with Hall.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon.
And he will have a Steelers first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. He'll find Metcalf. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their #1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
They'll give up the middle to Johnson.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The towels are waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's 3rd down. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This for the lead in the final stages. Boswell's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So the Jets now down by a field goal, 1:08 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Back to throw, Fields. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
The way he's thrown the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
All eyes on Fields.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
T.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
And one last throw here for Fields. That's caught by Wilson. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles, and that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.